Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Most high count men don't limit their options. Most high count men don't limit their options. Now, I talked about this someplace a while ago, but I get new people and sometimes I need to hear something over. I gotta hammer the point. But when we talk about high count men, contrary to popular belief, most of them ain't dealing with exclusively dimes. I'll just say like highly attractive women in the 8 to 10 range. And I'm just using that, just so you understand what I'm talking about. Most. The ones who do tend to be celebrities. They tend to be in environments where they can encounter all these women. Like if a dude say to me, well, all the women I deal with are dimes, nothing but beautiful women. Usually some guy says that, but you check their social media, well, you just look at their comment, they don't have any videos or anything up. See, a man who's gonna be in that, who's dealing with it like that, they gotta be in an environment where it's mostly dimes. Those are either they pro athletes, they entertainers, or managers or something. Maybe somebody who works with a modeling agency, a photographer, something like that. They have to be in an environment where they deal with them. And you got some guys like that. That's legit. But if you look at most other high count men, they don't limit themselves just to dimes. In fact, at best, they might deal with maybe above average women, at best, above average, but not like the top thing. They might be able to meet one every now and then, but like I said, it's about environment. But the whole one thing I've talked with a lot of them, and remember, I actually did in this space, I actually did a survey. Remember, y'all see Car Rom, y'all see Rom here. Remember, sometimes y'all see Professor Rom. And sometimes people forget, because I can get rough, I can get coarse like I'm in the streets or something. But y'all forget I do have an academic background and I do research. And people might remember when I put out a survey for players and stuff. And that's like, I'm actually doing field research. For sociologists, it's called qualitative research. You just going out there, you're talking with the people, and plus you observing them. And then one of the things is just having direct conversations, direct observations, and surveys, and multiple times. And then talking with other professionals, including some clinical psychologists. When you really look at the high count men, they ain't always dealing with a Barbie doll. In fact, some, depending on where they at, might dip down. It's like but the one thing they all have in common, they don't limit their options. Okay, like let me give you an example. Like say a man say, well, I will only deal with dimes, and that's cool. That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But he might meet like a highly attractive woman one way or the other. All right, he deals with her and everything. All right, unless they deal with each other for a bit, have sex, hey, that's cool. But then they break up. If he's stuck on just like that particular type, which is, like I said, cool, he might go 6 months to a year without meeting another one like that. Unless, as I said, he's in an environment where there's constant women like that. But let's be real. Those very attractive women are rare. Though when we talking like that high level, and I know sometimes people say, well, everybody has their own taste or something. Well, let's be real. When people are talking about that high level, they're talking about a consensus. Let's be real with that. They're talking about a consensus. Now, somebody might be high level to you, and of course I say, hey, stick with that. But let's be real. And even that, let me get into that in a second. But there's not going to be that many, so they're not going to run into it. And even if you say, okay, a high level to you, okay, that's cool. That's still a limitation, because how often are you going to find that high level to you? Think about it. Like if you very specific, you're like the woman gotta have a pretty face, nice breastises, nice butt, and whatever. Or you might just say, well, just the big breastises or just the round butt. Okay, she fits exactly into it. All right, y'all break up. Are you going to see that again? How often you want to see that? Like I have a specific type I like, I prefer, even though I'm very open. But I have a specific. It's very rare I see that. Very rare. Every now and then, you know. And I'm someone who's open. So imagine somebody who's stuck on it. They're not going to have a high count because it's going to be a limited thing. It's going to be a limited target. But you have a high count man, they very open. Like high count man, they the type, yeah, they can mess with that like slim. They can mess with that like slim woman, you know, petite and everything. And then the next day get with that woman who is quite frankly a BBW. The one thing with them is they are not limiting themselves. As long as the woman has something about them attractive, they stay with them. Seriously, you got some guys like that. Now, some other guys say, well, they don't have any taste or standards. Remember, I did a podcast saying, as long as they like it. And that was the one thing I saw. You look at me, they looking at all the women. You be like, what? Shoot. And then, you know, I just did a podcast on social group. What if somebody's social group is a lower class group where the women are jacked up? You got some guys, they tan up. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I look at the women and be like, okay, as long as you good, we good. Like I said, I don't be tripping over it. It was somebody else like. But as long as they good with it, boom. But the thing is, the main thing is that they're open. They're open. They're open. Because when you limit it, like I say, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Do you? But when you limit it, you ain't gonna have that high count because how many women are going to fit into your specific paradigm? But the high count men they'll be open for whatever. Slim, big, whatever. Black, white, Martian. You know, I've privately called them poon hounds, dog types and everything. Now, let me be clear as I'm talking about this. Let me be abundantly clear, because sometimes people hear something and say, I'm telling you or suggesting you do like that. No, in this episode, I'm just saying what it is. I'm just saying what it is. I would, honestly, like I said, if you that guy, you got a specific type, stick with it. I've said before, quality over quantity. But I can say that all I want. There's some guys like, nah, I just want the quantity. And the guy's going to just do it anyway. I'm just saying what they're doing. They're open. Now, if you're a guy who want you want quantity, hey, you got to open up your types. Unless, only, like I said, the only exception is if, like, say, you in an environment where all the women meet whatever criteria that you have. It could be a job, it could be a social scene, you know, your business. Like I said, a lot of photographers, please, you know, shit. You get some like model photographers, fashion photographers, something like that. Oh yeah, a lot of people who work in that industry, they got access. Or you're a celebrity or pro athlete, shoot, the women come to them. The women come to them. Indeed, there's a whole subculture of groupies. They got their own subculture, you know? Yeah, I've known some groupies. So, but that's just, I mean, and I'm just saying that's what it is. They just don't limit themselves and they good with it. And, you know, somebody else might say, well, why would you do that, woman? That dude don't care. He good with it, you know? And he realistic about it, you know? Now, if he could be that poon hound in an environment where it's like consensus dimes, shit, he's in like Flitter. You got something there. But most people ain't. Let's just be real with it. Anybody saying, oh, you know, people can talk about what they see on social media. What do you see every day? Where do you live? Where do you work? Like I say, I get some every now and then. I get somebody say, "Well, I deal with all these women and stuff." My first thing is, okay, where you work, where you live, you know, and everything. And they could be, and even if they ain't going for dimes, say you get somebody who wants fours, then you do. You get some guys that I've actually met a couple guys, they go for ugly women, shoot. They might be good to go. But whatever the case, even those guys, they get a shot at a dime, they take it quick. But here's the thing. That's the one thing with men with high accounts. That's the real thing. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.